2025 was awesome. I created reels for 45 days, went on few runs in a beach, learned a new sport. I joined a new job at Zomato and I doubled down on my social media and personal brand. But then I started realizing that in creating social media content, specifically content on Twitter and LinkedIn, I use AI a lot. And I felt that ChatGPT and Claude are not just the right interface for it because I have to do a lot of chatting back and forth and it's not intuitive as it's hard to keep track of all the stuff. So I wanted to build a new text editor for me that is AI powered. So in this video, we are gonna be building an AI powered text editor that can help me write content for Twitter and LinkedIn. In the first stage, I'm gonna go and ask Claude to build a plan for me. I'm describing all the features and let's see what Claude does. Basically, the goal here is to offload as much as of the work I can on AI. So I'll be using tools like Claude and Claude Code and GPT Codex. So in the first step, like I basically describe whatever basic features I need from the text editor and like commands and all. So I just want to keep the interface slightly like Notion, but focus more on AI stuff like content stuff like editing and editing with custom prompt and generating images, etc., etc. So this is an MVP version that I'm trying to build here, and later in half, I would try to build a proper product and launch and try to monetize it. So yeah, uh, Claude just gave me a bunch of features, and I think uh, there are some lot of feedbacks. Like I mean, I think it's like not good enough for one shot. So I described it like, what do I want to build? Like basically go for Next.js version and not the full-fledged powered by a separate Python backend. And I'm also wondering whether I should integrate payments right away because I might be able to just launch a SaaS, but I think there are trade-offs. More importantly, why I'm making this video is because I want to build in public. Last year, when I left my job, I tried building a lot of stuff, like of products, but I built them in private, and I felt that that was reason of my failure. Initially, when I started building this thing, I called it Grape, but I think I found a better name. I'm calling it Pencil. And right now, Claude is almost ready with the system architecture. It's like this describe all the APIs that it needs, and I'm using database Supabase, so just keeping things simple. So yeah, I mean, once the plan is ready, we'll review it and we'll ask Codex to implement it. But as I can see, Claude Code has given a lot of code component in this design, and I think I don't need that at the point because right now we are just designing the our product. I am asking Claude to just write me a PRD, detailed features, and what I'm gonna be implementing. So with this one, I think, by the way, I'm using Claude Extended Thinking. It's better for designing stuff. So this is my like primary workflow. Use Claude for planning and then implement it via Codex or Gemini CLI. Code Extended Thinking version is very good. Like it also gave me some sequence level diagrams. Although I explicitly asked that in the prompt, and as I can see, like it describes the entire user journey. This is pretty freaking amazing. But again, Claude tends to be, very much descriptive. Like it tends to give a lot of launch plans and stuff, etc., etc. I mean, I think that's not required. So let's just dive into the VS Code and create the folder and start building stuff. So yeah, my choice of editor is VS Code, and I'm now pasting the entire plan generated by Claude in this markdown file, and then I will ask Codex to read it and basically go ahead and figure out how to build it. So first step is like editing stage, like where I'm using removing all of the planning, like launch phases, etc., because it's an MVP and we are building all of this in a single video. And Claude also automatically tries to basically split the features into stages, and I think I want to build a lot of them, most of them in this stage only. So right now I'm asking Claude Code to build a simple version, and I figured out that Claude Code was not good enough. For some reason Claude was hallucinating and like giving very bad UI. So I jumped to Codex and asked to work on the leftovers of Claude Code. And I'm telling Codex explicitly to use simple Next.js and not any backend. Next.js has a server client architecture, so I think we are good to go for that when it comes to an app like this. And Codex looks like it figured out like what are we trying to build here, and it's also understood the code that Cloud Code wrote originally, and it started to build. So a lot of the reason I'm building this video, I mean, I could just implement it like everything myself, but the goal of the and one of the goal of the video is to show how to use AI to build anything you want, anything you need. So this particular app, I know I want to make it as a SaaS, but I'm also building for personal reasons because it's going to be really helpful for my use cases of content creation, and I will eventually deploy it somewhere. I'm thinking of deploying it on Vercel. on my domain so that I can access it anywhere. uh, Codex, it feels like it's having some issues with permissions, accessing some files and all. But I think it eventually figures out, like it's creating the entire TypeScript project folder, CSS, etc., etc., etc. So a lot of things I don't think I need to cover because it's more of an implementation detail and out of the scope of the video. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and basically see how the thing that turned out. So I have cut down a lot of Codex implementation step, and this is what our product looks like, and it looks okay for one shotted version. And I pasted some of the text and I'm trying all the features if it's working at all or not. So I figured out that there's a bug in it and there's some bad button alignments, so I prompted Codex to fix that, and the Codex is going ahead and fixing it, and let's see if that works. There's another bug, so I'm basically in this step it's all about debugging. I see there are a lot of layout issues, there are a lot of prompt issues. I felt that the initial prompt that Codex configured for the models, I'm using Gemini by the way, are not working well, and it's giving some weird responses. So I'm gonna go ahead and debug it at the later point of time. Now I'm trying to make the UI more helpful, like creating buttons for creating like more user friendly options for uh, renaming and deleting the buttons. And meanwhile, I also span out a Cloud Code parallel thing and fixing some bugs in the parallel so that I don't exhaust my codex limits. And now it's time to basically debug the issues that are coming in responses. So I'm adding a console log, and let's see why am I not getting the correct responses when I'm trying to select a piece of text and edit it in the editor. And it turns out that I don't know, it's not able to read. I mean, not able to make a call properly. So it's weird, I think, because I'm using Gemini 2.5 Flash and I'm using the generative language API from Google. So I'm trying to debug it. What's happening? I figured out that the URL does not work. So I am going through Gemini API documentation and I'm thinking of migrating to Google Genie SDK, which tends to take care of response parsing, etc. A lot of things, so that I just need to call it Freya code and minimizing the client code that I need to write. So I will just copy paste the entire documentation of Google's Genie SDK in TypeScript and JavaScript, and I will give that to Codex, and Codex will figure out the way to integrate that and get rid of the custom API calling for LLMs. Now it's writing the code for me, and I'm running the thing again, and we'll see if this works out. So, uh, okay, I think it looked like it worked out. Now I'm getting proper responses. Now I'm moving on to implement more cleaner user interfaces, mostly Git-like interfaces, which, let's say if I created a change from by selecting a text, it should show which lines were changed and which lines are getting removed, and like basically Git-like diff for docs. And I feel that there are some bugs here. First of all, when we are making an edit, it is not giving me an option to apply the edit. So that's an issue number one. And the second issue is when I'm clicking on one of the generated options from the suggestions, it is removing the entire document. So in this iteration, I just fixed that apply logic here with the codex. And the next thing is to see if, put full document in the editor, and also show diff, more of a classical code editor style to Git versions. And that would make in user interface more intuitive, because I would want to see what changes are going on in my editor and writing. At times, Codex is pretty slow and does mistakes again and again. I think that's something will improve in AI over next few years. And as you can see, like there are the prompts given by the created by the codex in for each and every operation are very small, and I think this is also can be a source of error. I can leave it as it is for the MVP, but I still think that it's not a good thing, and we should ideally handle each of the writing style or writing operations separately. So looked like I was able, like Codex was able to populate entire document as well as git div, but there is still some issue in highlighting of green and red div that it was coming earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and go codex a few more attempts to basically fix that out. It looks like it said that it fixed the colors in the div, but it still doesn't seem to work, and I'm gonna prompt it multiple times again, because I think there's something wrong with codex right now, and I can see the text getting applied, but still it does not get updated. And so I'm just gonna paste a screenshot and I'm showing, gonna see what's wrong with it, and the changes that you just did, it does not appear. So I think what Karpati said, like most of the programming language of today is like English, and all I'm doing in this video is just prompting Codex, telling what's wrong, what's right, and just fixing it. I know there are at times Codex is bad at following and making fixes, but yeah, I mean we are still wherever we are. I think we are at, like we have come a long way, and let's see. It's trying to make. I mean, from what I could see in the last view, it was able to show diff that was like perfect, like more like, okay, now we can see colors, and let's see if this works out again. I'm trying to apply, and oh no, I think it's still not working. What's wrong? Let's see. Okay, looks like this time it worked. So it's now adding 2 lines. And applying it also worked, but I think there's still some issue in following new line character. And yeah, I mean, text trap is also a problem, I think, for an editor that will be used by me daily. So I'm gonna ask Codex to basically fix that. And I'm also thinking of adding a section where maybe I can upload some references. Example, let's say if I want to upload a PDF, or let's say if I want to write my blog or post on the basis of existing blog post, then I think adding context makes more sense, because that's what a lot of times we do via ChatGPT like interface. And since it supports to be better, so we need to support that functionality. So I asked Codex to add this add context button, and this would basically open a side panel where I could upload some documents or images, and also add some text content. Maybe for now I can just paste the content and not adding support for reading the links. And an important part is adding image generation capabilities, because so for that I am using Nano Banana as of now, again Google Gemini. I mean, this video is not powered by Google, but I think Google overall has better suite of products. So this is my personal opinion. So adding a prompt to image facility right now, for like it's very basic interface, but ideally it should be more intuitive. Right now the images I'm thinking of just keeping in the side panel that comes when I click add context, but it should eventually move to something like that slash command, which opens an option menu. So I'm thinking I will reorganize the context menu, the command menu, and move that option to generate image there, and reorganize this expand, etc., expand, shorten these two into a writing style sort of menu, and so that they will be option of sub menu. And I'm prompting Claude same. That's it for this video. In this video we saw how we built stuff like an editor that I'm gonna use personally, using stuff like Codex and Claude Code. And I hope the way I showed gave you an understanding how to prompt these kind of agents and build stuff. And I will deploy this to Vercel, and maybe deploy it to a subdomain. If you guys want to try out, comment in the comment section, and maybe I can publish it publicly, so that if you guys have feedback, or if you want me to take it further, that will be my sign. So that, thank you for watching. See you next time.